It's time for a battle of heavyweights in Class 3A. Welcome into the Murphy Center, the site of the semifinal round of the Class 3A Boys State Tournament, and it pits the defending state champion Upperman Bees against longtime powerhouse, the Fulton Falcons. I'm Noah McKay on the call here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. We welcome you in to Media Row, coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment, and this is the Crouch Team with Howland's Late Real Estate pregame show. I'm Noah McKay. That's Jacob Vinson. Madison McKay producing things for us to our left, the lovely Madison McKay. As we sit 7.5 minutes away from tip-off, the Final Four is here. An Upperman team that has been gold ball or bust this entire season. They are 2 wins away from defending their state championship, but they have a big challenge in their way today. Upperman at 31-5, winners of 13 consecutive games, 17 of their last 18. They survived a scare, knocking off the South Gibson Hornets 56-49 in the quarterfinals. They are an unblemished 17-0 against 3A competition this season, but in their way are the Fulton Falcons. Under head coach Jody Wright, they are 25-9. This is their 29th state tournament appearance, and in Jody Wright's 40 seasons, they have been here 23 times. 5-time state champions, including a back-to-back run in 2023 and 2024. They did lose in the quarterfinals last year to Fayette Ware, but they knocked off Portland 59-50 in the quarterfinals of this tournament to set up a date with the Upperman Bees. Jacob, very different mindset in this game. Maybe Upperman looked ahead of South Gibson a little bit. They admitted that. Not looking ahead of this Fulton team when you got the Falcons on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously this is a Fulton team that kind of started the run for the Bees back a couple of years ago where we felt like, all right, Ty's here. It's his freshman season. This is a really good basketball team. It was a very, very good Fulton team that year. And we kind of knew we were about a year, maybe 2 away. And obviously they get the gold ball last year, and now they're cemented as the best team in the 3A classification, kind of taking the reins from Fulton from a couple of years ago. And now these two teams going at it. They've been the best couple of teams in 3A for the last few seasons. Obviously, Tullahoma up there as well, and we'll see what the Bees can do today. But it starts with getting off to a better start. They wanted a good start against South Gibson in their quarterfinal game, and they did not get a good start. And it was a grind pretty much the whole game through until the fourth quarter where they were finally able to pull away. For Fulton, they get a win against Portland in the quarterfinal round, 59-50, a team that Upperman had beaten already this season as well with a big second half of the Mount Juliet Christmas Invitational. So 2 teams that have some like opponents, and obviously a Fulton team that's going to be very athletic. They're going to crash the glass. Upperman's going to have to rebound the basketball very well today.
They did play in the 2024 semifinals, as this is Upperman's 3rd straight trip to the semifinals. A 52-30 Fulton victory, a game in which Ty Cobb scored just 9 points. We anticipate him scoring more than 9 points in this ball game today. Speaking of Ty Cobb, back-to-back Mr. Basketball, another accolade today. Gatorade Player of the Year, first player at Upperman High School in any sport to be a Gatorade Player of the Year. That is a major, major accomplishment. But for him, all eyes on the gold ball, and he's got a big opponent on the other side, somebody who shared the stage with him last week, Fulton's Nick Steen. What a season this young man has had, the junior guard, averaging just under 20 points a game. Upperman has to have a plan for him, but a big day already for Ty. All he cares about, though, is the W.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that Gatorade Player of the Year here in the state of Tennessee. That is a big deal. Obviously, Mr. Basketball is big, but that's only in your classification. When you're the Gatorade Player of the Year, that is overall. Every single player selected from that pool, and Ty Cobb is the winner of that award. So a huge congratulations to him as the best player in the state of Tennessee. We've said it all year long, and now he's got the biggest accolade to go with it with a Gatorade Player of the Year. But you said it too. He doesn't care about that. He wants to get a W in the win column today, move on to the championship game for the 2nd straight season, and take their shot at another gold ball. And it starts with Ty, obviously, but they need that supporting cast to be good today. It was good against South Gibson, especially in the second half. Kyler Bush hits a big shot. Jack Torrance hit some big shots. Colton Johnson was big inside. I think Colton Johnson is going to need to have one of his best games. He's been great all season long. He may have to take it another step further here today against this Fulton team, and especially boxing out inside, crashing the glass, and securing rebounds. Obviously, we know he's one of the most physical guys in the state of Tennessee. He's going to need that physicality today in rebounding the basketball.
Fulton has 31 rebounds a contest. Upperman at 28.5. You'll hear from Bobby McWilliams in just a moment. He talked about the need to get on the glass. That starts with Colton Johnson, but it does not end there. Upperman with a big point of emphasis to get after it today. A trip to the state championship is on the line. The other side of the bracket, our next game going to be another fun one. Alcoa, who dominated an under and short-manned Fayette Ware squad, taking on the Tullahoma Wildcats, who very much would like to get back to a championship game, maybe against Upperman, where they look for a little bit of revenge. But all eyes in Baxter on Knoxville Fulton. I talked with Bobby McWilliams just a few moments ago here from the Murphy Center. We'll hear from him, come back with the South Willow Auto Clinic starting lineups and all the action. We're live on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel. Audio only today. Trip to the state championship game on the line. Now let's hear from Bobby McWilliams. Here in the Murphy Center, moments away from tip-off, Upperman takes on Fulton in the Class 3A semifinals. Coach Bobby McWilliams here with us pregame. Coach, you've had an opportunity to look at this Fulton team. You saw them a couple of years ago. A lot of different faces, though, for most squads. What are the things that have jumped out to you about the Falcons?
Well, they play very similar. It's they're going to guard you hard for 94 feet, and they just do a lot of good things. They execute on the half court with a lot of their actions that they run. Coach has been here a lot. He's obviously he can manipulate the game how he needs to. He changes his styles of play from game to game. So we're going to have to come out first 3 or 4 minutes to kind of see where we're at and what's going on, trying to get an idea about what they're trying to get done, and maybe we can make some adjustments. But we expect, they're very athletic, shoot the ball well from the perimeter, and they crash the boards like probably no team we've seen all year. And so that's going to be first and foremost. We're going to take care of the basketball, and we're going to have to rebound it. If we don't do that, and it's going to be a long night. But if we can do that, then we'll give ourselves a chance.
You talked before the South Gibson game about the importance of getting out to a quick start. That didn't happen. You were able to rally back, though, and find a way to win that game. How critical is that, especially with a team that plays with this sort of momentum that Fulton does when they get ahead?
Yeah, you need to. You have to come out, but teams change so much at the beginning of games on us that we have to play so many different ways. Especially the start of the game to figure out what kind of, stuff we're going to run or the packages we're going to get into. So hopefully we'll get off to a little bit better start today, and we really need to. Again, you get in a state tournament, you're in the Final Four. If you have a 4 minutes spell that you don't play well, you're asking for disaster. So hopefully we'll kind of fix that here at the start of the game, see if we can't get off to a good start, and hopefully carry that momentum the rest of the game.
Last one, everyone knows you need big games out of Ty Cobb and Colton Johnson, but Collier Bush hit maybe the game-changing shot against South Gibson, Jack Torrance, Joseph Maynard as well. How critical are those guys going to be? Guys who maybe weren't playing the same roles a year ago when you advanced past this round.
Absolutely. You're not going to come down here and win with 2 guys. And that's kind of what everybody talks about was Colton and Ty. But the rest of our players they're good players, and they're just now in the past about 3.5, 4 weeks really started trusting themselves to the fact that they would take shots when it's a critical time. We trust them fully, and we expect good games out of all 3 of those guys tonight. We're going to need a lot of help out of our bench as well. It's going to be a 4-quarter game for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Moments away from tip-off here in the Glass House. Let's get to the South Willow Auto Clinic starting lineups. The South Willow Auto Clinic are your hometown auto doctor. Starting for the Fulton Falcons under head coach Jody Wright in his 40th season at Fulton. They are 25-9 on the year. Starting tonight for the Falcons, number 10, a 6'3" junior guard, Nick Steen. Number 14, a 5'10" sophomore guard, Chaz Wood. Number 20, a 6'1" senior guard, Rajon Womble. Number 22, a 6' senior guard, Justin Burris. And number 44, a 6'2" sophomore forward, Jamari Martin. Their opponents tonight, the Upperman Bees under head coach Bobby McWilliams in his 27th season in Baxter. The Bees are 31-5, and they're the reigning Class 3A state champions. Starting for the Bees, number 0, Mr. Basketball, the Gatorade Player of the Year, a 6'2" junior guard, Ty Cobb. Number 1, a 6'4" sophomore guard, Joseph Maynard. Number 2, a 5'10" senior guard, Jack Torrance. Number 22, a 6'1" senior guard, Collier Bush. And number 24, a 6'4" junior forward, Colton Johnson. Starters again for the Falcons, Steen, Wood, Womble, Burris, and Martin. And for the Bees, it's Cobb, Maynard, Torrance, Bush, and Johnson. A very cool demeanor for the Upperman Bees. Pre-game and into this one, the interesting dynamic here, both teams have been here, done that, got the T-shirt. This should be as well played of a game when you consider the pageantry of the Murphy Center that we have all week.
Yeah, 2 teams that aren't afraid of this moment, aren't afraid of the lights. They're comfortable in this gym, and I think it depends on this start. Who can get off to a good start in this one?
Lead official walks in, throws it up. Let's get it on. In the Final Four in Class 3A, Upperman possesses the tip there in their white home uniforms, working right to left on your screen. Right side here is Jack Torrance against a Fulton defense. in their black uniforms with white and red accents. Johnson gives to Bush. Upperman very curious the opening couple of minutes. How is Fulton going to defend them? Then they said they'll adjust. It may come after a timeout, and they're trying to withstand an early storm. It's a man-to-man defense at first for the Falcons as Joseph Maynard works it against Nick Steen. Maynard picks up at the top of the circle. Now he'll dump it back to Ty Cobb with a head of Steen. He'll check back. It is Rajon Womble, the senior guard who did play against Upperman 2 years ago in that game, guarding Ty. Now Jack Torrance traveled. He grabbed the basketball, took one step, then had his textbook hop. It was the extra step that gets the call possession to Fulton.
And they ran that exact play yesterday against South Gibson, or in the quarterfinals against South Gibson, and they were able to get a three out of it from the left wing from Torrance. But yeah, that time he just kind of shuffled his feet before firing it away, and an early turnover.
Burris gives over to Steen. Nick Steen, he is a superstar. 23 points, 12 rebounds in their quarterfinal victory a couple of days ago against Portland. He'll get back to Justin Burris. Burris tosses it over right side to Chaz Wood. Wood to Steen. Now they're working around left wing side. Burris. He'll bounce it into the low block. One power dribble for Martin. He's forced to picked up by a trap by Maynard and Johnson. He'll float it back out to Burris, who resets a minute and 10 seconds in. Burris tosses it right side to Steen. Cobb picks him up as Upperman's into their zone. Twisting mid-range jumper won't go. Cobb's guys up for the rebound. Now a full court outlet feed to Torrance. Torrance, Euro step, throws it up. Can't get the roll. Catches the rebound on his back. Gives to Colton Johnson, who puts it in. Great play for the Bees for the game's opening bucket.
And Jack Torrance is laying fully on his back. Catches it with two hands. Tosses it to Johnson. That was a good finish by Johnson underneath the basket and flips it up and in.
Upperman in their stretched 2-3 zone. Left side three on the way and good. In rhythm, Rajon Womble splashes it home, and it's 3-2 Fulton. Upperman had a very slow start against South Gibson. They also had a very slow start 2 years ago. Obviously a very different team, but they don't want to get in a hole like they did in that game against Fulton where they lost by 20 plus. Here's Cobb right side. He'll lob it into Colton Johnson at the spot underneath lay. Got the roll. It's a Colton Johnson type of day, 4-3.
Yeah, got a little English there and almost the same exact shot as well. Just flips it up under on the left side of the rim. His back kind of to the baseline, able to get the finish.
Coverage presented by your hometown Steel and Exmark dealer, Gentry's Power Equipment, 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville. Fulton basketball here as they're into the set. Steen works it over right side for Justin Burris off the wing. Burris tosses it back. Now they'll work it over to Steen left side. Steen into the mid-range, rising up jumper is good. Justin Burris and both offenses in rhythm early. It's 5-4.
You mentioned these two teams very comfortable playing here. This has been a great game early on, first couple of minutes.
Maynard into the front court. He'll skip it back to Bush. He'll line up the three. That one's no good. Rebound tip. Steen has it here for Fulton. Here they come. Nick Steen with a ton of steam. Coast to coast, contorting lay is good. And it's 7-4. Not a great start for the Bees defensively on that possession.
Yeah, that was smart by Fulton as well. Maynard hit the deck a little bit slow to get up, so it was 5-on-4. Steen takes advantage and gets all the way to the rack.
Ty Cobb has not taken a shot so far. That's going to have to change. 3 minutes in, Bees trail by 3. Cobb in transition, powers through. It's ripped out of his hands by Steen, and they will call it a jump. Possession back to Fulton as Cobb went in and Steen got a hand on the basketball.
Yeah, really good job there by Steen. You mentioned Cobb right through the middle of the lane. Steen meets him there, kind of gets a hand on top of the basketball, trying to rip it out, and draws the jump ball. First few subs will check into the ball game. It's going to be a very physical, very fast ball game. So both teams going to try to get some fresh legs out on the floor.
Carmine Phillips checking in for Collier Bush. It was a delayed entry. I'm not sure Carmine realized he was allowed to come in. And Jamari Martin is getting coached up on the sideline by one of the Fulton assistants on how to defend Colton Johnson. They were going through a post-up drill. On the other side as Phillips has a tip, and it's a steal for Torrance, then tipped back, stolen right back by Fulton. Steen with it here. He's working against Carmine. Splits a trap, and he's fouled. Jack Torrance caught in, and it'll be a trip. He'll be called for the personal. It's the game's first foul.
Yeah, he tried to dive in front, but Steen just a little too fast there, and he's a little bit late trying to get in front, commits the foul. He will check out, and Crouch will come in for him.
4:37 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-4. Fulton with an early advantage. Upperman not with a super slow start, but it's not a great start. They'll bounce it over right side for Albert Harris. Harris bounces it baseline. Now a skip feed against the zone to the left wing. Burris has it. Gives back to Steen. Phillips right there in his living room. He'll dump it back to Harris.
Carmine Phillips was really good against South Gibson at the top of that zone. He was able to create some turnovers. He's going to have to be good today, too.
Not going to score much, but he does everything else. Now working it right side. Womble, he'll kick into the corner. 3-ball on the way. No rebound loose. It's tipped out by Maynard as Steen was right there on his back. And again, you're seeing Fulton crashing the glass It'll stay with the Falcons.
Oh, that one was just tough. That's one of those where it misses so badly. Everybody's out of position. Maynard had a good box out, but then it bounces to the baseline, and he's just unable to get there in time.
Burst to inbound from the baseline here for Fulton. Kicks into an open shooter. He'll pass up the look. Now drives against Crouch. Skip feed back to Steen. Cobb right there against him. Now if fire right side, Harris lines up the three, spins out. No, another rebound for Steen. He'll kick back. Now stepping through a block by Maynard. Steen with another rebound. Clears out, puts it up and in. Nick Steen doing work. Upperman's going to have to be better on the boards than they were there.
Yeah, and he's a strong kid inside. He's got a good amount of size as well, and he's able to get the rebound that time, put it back up and in.
And now another errant pass. Maynard just threw it away. Went right to Womble. Here they come again. Falcons in transition with Harris. He'll rise up from 18 feet. Can't hit off the heel. Steen with another rebound. His putback won't go. And finally, Colton Johnson rips the rebound. And Joe Hairston, the 6'4" off the bench senior, commits the personal with his hand into the cookie jar.
Yeah, that's what Johnson's going to have to do today. He's going to have to get out there and wrestle these rebounds away. Have to earn every single one. He does that time, draws the foul, and Upperman gets the basketball back. But they got to get the offense going. The half-court offense has not been able to find a flow whatsoever, whereas Fulton has been able to find a good rhythm against that zone that Upperman's been employing. See if the Bees can get something going here on the offensive half.
Austin McWilliams told me today he expects to play a lot of defenses. The zone has been okay, but the rebounding has been a problem. Fulton's already taken 8 shots to just 4 for the Bees. Here's Jack Torrance back on the floor. He'll give over to Ty Cobb, who still has not taken a shot. Kyrus Cox in front of him. He'll dump it left side. Maynard, now Torrance. Into the low block. Cobb to his spot. Goes up, blocked. Long rebound out of play. It'll stay with the Bees. That's great defense again by Fulton. Really not that physical. They just go up and get the block.
Yeah, I had to double team down there on Cobb as well. He's on the left block, had Steen in front of him, and he was able to get the block. He's got a little bit of a size advantage on Cobb and makes a nice clean play there.
Ty's going to inbound from the baseline here. 3:11 to go in the first. Lobs it to Colton Johnson. Dumps right back to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Steen on the steal, then Cobb committed a foul. Tried to cut him off, went shoulder to shoulder, and here is the stat. 5 turnovers already for the Bees with just 4 minutes and 54 seconds gone.
Yeah, they're going to take their first time out of the game, and this is a smart timeout taken by Coach McWilliams. They're all out of sorts. They got to figure it out and figure it out quickly. Down by 5 right now, and it's just uncharacteristic passes. That one from Colton Johnson. He's looking for Cobb cutting to the block, but he sends it to the opposite block and throws it directly away. You mentioned there's been multiple passes where they've just been thrown right into the hands of the Falcons, and that's a credit to the Falcons' pressure, but Upperman has not been handling it well. They need to calm down, make some good passes, and get a good shot.
And it seems like Upperman's on a little bit of autopilot. They're just throwing it to spots and not reading what's in front of them, because a lot of these have been telegraphed turnovers. It's a quick cash pawn timeout on the floor. We want to welcome our new friends at E&D Concrete. For all regular or stamped concrete, no job is too big or too small. Call E&D Concrete at 615-203-1758. 3:06 to go in the opening quarter. 9-4. Fulton with the lead early on. And the basketball as Nick Steen has it here. He's doing what he does to this point, especially on the glass. He'll have it left wing, bounces back out to Cox. Cox back to Steen. Shot fake for him. He's trapped immediately, bounces back to Cox. He'll line up the 3, can't hit. Rebound, Cobb skies up, can't get it cleanly. Takes a tumble, and right place, right time, but a missed layup for Cox. And then it's out of bounds. Possession will go back to the Bees.
Oh, I thought Maynard got pushed to the floor. I think they called the foul. Yeah,
they did call a foul. Good point, Jacob Vincent, as a foul will be called on Fulton.
Yeah, Maynard had 2 hands on the basketball, and he kind of got shoved all the way down. And so he'll draw the foul, and Upperman will get it back again. So they're starting to get some of these rebounds. But, again, they got to get the offense going here and deal with this pressure a little bit better.
Hairston commits the personal. It's the second on Knoxville Fulton. 9-4 our scores. Collier Bush is going to run the point to start this possession. He'll fire it ahead to Cobb on the left wing. Cobb goes to work, baseline, drive, skies up, can't touch it through. Rebound loose and grabbed away by Martin. Great defense again by Fulton.
Just going to say, Fulton doing a very good job being physical, but staying vertical and not committing a foul.
Steen kicks over into the corner again. Upperman trying to move the defense around even more. They're really stretching the zone towards the shooters. Here's Cox. He'll bounce it baseline for Martin. Martin, one dribble against Maynard. He'll kick it back out. Here's Harris on the drive. Skips into the corner. 3 for Steen. That one's no good off the heel. Torrance has the rebound, falls, and they will call him for a travel. Caught it in midair on his way down. And now a bench warning going to be given to Bobby McWilliams, who was not happy with the call.
Yeah, and Torrance got up there, and his feet kind of got taken out a little bit, and they're wanting to foul. And it was incidental, but it still, I think, probably could have been called a foul. He never had a chance of actually landing on his feet. It kind of got taken out, so he falls to the ground, and the travel is called.
And again, way too many open shots for Fulton. They're controlling the game. Jody Wright's had a good game plan.
100%.
Upperman's going to have to answer. And again, a wide open three off the inbound, and he hits. Will Dixon from downtown. He could have built a campfire before shooting that one. It's 12-4.
This feels very similar to Pickett County Eagleville yesterday, where the Eagles got a lot of open threes, and now another turnover by the Bees.
A turnover, and then Jack Torrance, who had it swiped, just dives, and Fulton's running on the floor right now. That's got to be a warning there. They won't give it, but you could sense the Falcons. They're winning the effort battle at this point.
They called a foul on Jack Torrance as well, so he picks up his second.
He dove on the floor for it, so the second on Jack, and he did grab him. And a frustration foul as Upperman is completely out of sorts against the Falcons' defense. It starts on that end for him. Carmine back to the table, likely for Jack Torrance. This time, Bush, he kicked it. Didn't have to, but possession will stay with the Falcons.
Yeah, they tried to force a pass inside the middle of the zone, and Bush could have just grabbed it with two hands. He stuck the foot out. It's just kind of that instinctual kick there to try to stop the basketball, and it's going to stay with Fulton underneath, unfortunately.
Not a familiar brand of basketball for Upperman so
not at
far.
all.
They are not playing their game with 1:44 to go in the first as Phillips does check in for Torrance.
It's one of the first few teams that has matched their physicality defensively and been able to really get them out of sorts.
And not the way South Gibson did, where there's a lot of fouls. This has been very clean defense by Fulton to this point.
Yeah, it's been a well-officiated game.
Wood sends it up now. That's very
So
early
far.
to say that. Here's Burris right side. He'll toss it back over to Cox. He'll send it back to Dixon. Just hit 1-3. Now Phillips nearly has the steal as Wood goes into the backcourt. Got away with another travel. Carmine just harassing him as Wood spins through, gets to an empty spot and throws it in. Upperman all out of sorts defensively. It's 14-4.
Well, it was good defense by Phillips, but then there was no help side whatsoever. Wood gets to the middle of the lane. He's 2 feet from the basket, and nobody touched him.
And Ty Cobb, it's time to put on the cape, young man. Cox, he splits through the trap. Cobb steps through. Ty goes up strong in his foul. One way or the other, Ty Cobb's going to have to get his. He'll go to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line for two.
And that's where it starts. He's going to try to get to the basket. That time he's able to finally draw some contact. But he's going to hit free throws today. He did not hit free throws against South Gibson. He's got to hit them today.
It's on Burris, and it is over 4 minutes of scoreless basketball for the Bees. Ty trying to change that at the line as his first one is good. First point of the game for Ty Cobb. And Colton Johnson and him are trying to fire each other up a little bit. They know they need a jump start. They are fortunate that it's only a 10-point game because it's been as bad of a 10-minute stretch as they've had in the past couple of seasons.
They got to figure something out defensively to slow down this Fulton offense. Got to create a couple of turnovers and get a run going.
Next one for Cobb is good. He goes 2 for 2 at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. 14-6 our score. Upperman in the full 2-2-1 pressure. Now here's Wood. He spins nearly at a backcourt, able to stay back. And now walking it ahead is Burris. Upperman settles back into their zone again. Under a minute to play in the first quarter, dominated by Fulton. Here's Womble with it. Womble top of the key. He'll bounce it over left side for Dixon. Dixon back to Womble. Womble fires it right wing side for Burris. Burris goes into the teeth of the zone. One dribble. Johnson right there, little back cut, then bringing it back around into empty space. Pull-up jumper, no. Cobb on the rebound. Here come the Bees again. Ty Cobb says, let's go. Cobb, coast-to-coast transition, rises up and hits. Ty Cobb with 4 straight. Here comes Upperman. They're back within 6.
Yep, got the stop, got the bucket on the other end. Now trying to get a stop to end the first quarter. Just get a little bit of momentum going to the second frame.
Time for Ty Cobb to put on the cape in this game. Upperman fortunate they have that guy on their team who can do it. Womble has it. He'll send it left side for Burris. They were also fortunate Fulton should have bled the clock on that last possession.
Yeah,
they did not. They are here as Burris will run it down. This is a big 10 seconds in this game. Burris with it. Works off a screen. It's a moving screen. Illegal. Will Dixon stepped down, and now Upperman with a chance. 5.9 seconds. Jack Torrance to the table for his shooting ability. Plenty of time to get into the front court and get a look for the Bees.
Yeah, big opportunity here. And they're also going to inbound at the head of their bench, so about 3/4 court. They don't have to go full length of the floor with 5.9 on the clock.
Phillips checks out, Torrance back in. Bush going to inbound here. Cobb wants it. He goes back to grab it. He's got to go. 4 seconds for Ty. Crosses over. Behind the back move. 2 seconds. Cobb rises up from long range. No off front iron. And that brings us to the end of 1. A strong start for Fulton, but an answer late for the Bees. 14-8 after 1 in the Murphy Center. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman Football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated. Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Livingston Regional Hospital is Livingston's hometown hospital. Located at 315 Oak Street, Livingston Regional Hospital provides compassionate quality care for all patients from local people you can trust, so you can count on them to treat you like family. Their excellent staff offers years of experience and training to meet the needs of all patients. They understand the importance of providing care in a professional and comforting manner. They're proud to partner with Livingston Academy Athletics through the LRH Sports Medicine team. Livingston Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back, 14-8. Fulton with the lead as Ty Cobb has the basketball here for Upperman. Back underway in the second quarter from the glass house. Joseph Maynard bobbles, gathers. He'll give off to Collier Bush. Now a back cut to Cobb. He'll load up and lay it in. Ty Cobb with 6 straight points. And from a 10-point deficit, it's down to 4.
Yeah, beauty of a play. They overload the left side. Cobb passes off and kind of works as a pick and roll. Cobb right to the basket, gets it back on the give and go.
Now a quick transition lay is good. Tic-tac-toe passing as Jamari Martin gets to the spot and lays it in. They got Colton Johnson stepping a little bit up. Here's Cobb again. He's going to that place. 7.5 to go in the first half, 16-10. Cobb picks up his dribble, dump it over right side for Bush. Bush works against Wood as Torrance with 2 fouls returns to the table. Carmine Phillips has it left wing side. Phillips gives back to Maynard. Maynard off his screen. He'll dump it back to Johnson. Johnson skips it across for Bush. He'll dump it in the corner for Carmine Phillips. Phillips has it tipped by Steen. He'll gather. Now Carmine drives into Steen, gives back over to Johnson. Johnson, couple of dribbles, shows off the handles. Now he finds a cutting Cobb. Cobb steps through, contorts, and is fouled. Yeah, this is about to be a high-scoring game for Ty Cobb. He goes to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line again with 6:58 to go in the second.
Yeah, got a little bit hairy over there on that right side with Carmine Phillips and Colton Johnson handling the basketball, but they did a good job. They looked for 0. He cuts to the basket, and a nice finish by Cobb as well. Kind of hangs in the air for that half second longer to draw the contact and get to the line.
Foul goes on Nick Steen. That's his first. Getting him into some foul trouble would be great, as the first one is good, and Ty is now 3 for 3.
Sound like Tony the Tiger there.
Great. Cobb checking back over. A minute and 2 seconds into the second. Upperman was way out of sorts. They trailed by 10, but they're answering the bell here. They had 7 turnovers in the first quarter as Cobb again goes 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was the big difference. They're starting to calm down a little bit, make better passes. That was the biggest thing. Just handle the pressure better.
Steen brings it up as Torrance is right there in his pocket. He's got to be careful. An errant pass is gathered by Martin. Martin in the low block dumps it to Wood. He'll rise up. Tough shot. Can't hit. And a push. Finn Sism right into the back of Nick Steen, who had inside position. And Finn Sism called for his first, team's first.
Yeah, and it's when you're in the zone, you really got to find your box outs. But it was a good job by Steen. He's immediately crashing the glass, gets position on Sism. That's all he can do.
This is the big lineup for Upperman with Johnson, Maynard, and Sism all on the floor as the inbound flown over the top for Steen. Steen goes to work against Maynard. Step back. Now he'll kick it over. Left wing 3 on the way and good. Rajon Womble splashes home to 3. It's 19-12. Cobb skips it ahead. That one's a dangerous pass and it's intercepted. Now Martin on the run out. Cobb chases and he rejects it, but they'll count it. They'll say it hit the backboard first, a goaltend. And now again, the 8th turnover for Upperman leads to 2 more points for Fulton.
Well, the Bees fans don't like it, but it definitely hit the backboard first. It probably wasn't going to go in, but Cobb swats it off the window, and it goes down for 2 points in the book.
Maynard to inbound. He gives it to Jack Torrance. 90 seconds into the second quarter. Fulton has answered with a run of their own, back in front 21-12. A lot of basketball still to go. The Bees got to settle in. Only player really playing well is Ty Cobb. Torrance off his screen. He'll dump it back to Colton Johnson. Now Johnson with a fastball barely kept by Torrance. Now he'll dump it in. A lob, just threw it away. Just a silly turnover. Possession back the other way. The 9th turnover by the Bees.
And I honestly have no clue where he was looking to go with that pass. Maynard was posting up inside, and he threw it over the head of Joseph Maynard, which is a pretty hard thing to do. And, it was nowhere close.
There have been some really uncharacteristic turnovers by the Bees. Fulton going to make them pay, trying to at least. Here's Burris into the front court. As Bush awaits, Upperman's changed up the look. It's a 1-3-1 zone. And now they'll battle back in as Wood throws a little runner up. No, disrupted by Johnson. Maynard on the rebound. Here they come. Joseph Maynard pushing the tempo. He'll send it over to Colton Johnson. Johnson with space to operate. He'll pick up. Cobb sheds his man, being harassed. Steps through. Cobb goes up. Can't get it to go, but a foul. And 2 more free throws for Ty Cobb at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. And I think this may be on Nick Steen.
Yep.
It is, and it is the second on Steen. If he leaves the floor, that's when Upperman could really go on a run. Cobb back to the line with 5:38 to go in the second.
And Womble's done a pretty nice job of kind of sticking in the pocket of Cobb. He's able to create a little bit of separation that time and get inside. And that is the second on Steen, so he's going to come off. That's a big one right there for Fulton. We'll see how they're able to respond with 5:38 to play here in the first half as Cobb is able to knock down the first free throw.
Steen off the floor as Dixon checks back in for him. It's a Fulton team that can roll him. Cobb's next one is on the way, and it's good as well. That's now 10 for Ty Cobb. And Carmine Phillips going to check in for Jack Torrance. He just needs a little reset. Take a breath and get back in there.
Yeah, good to see Ty also shooting the free throws better today as well.
6 for 6 at the line so far. Full court press here for the Bees. That becomes better with Steen off the floor. Plenty of ball handlers, though, for Fulton as they'll bounce it over into the front court for Dixon. Dixon right wing side, he'll bounce it baseline for Wood. Another pull up, Wood's just triggering him away. A push goes uncalled, and the putback is good for Jamari Martin.
Well, I was going to say on the last possession, you are perfectly fine with Wood taking a lot of shots for Fulton. You can live with him knocking him down. The other guys, you got to try to slow him down, but you got to get rebounds if he misses.
Cobb sizes up Womble. He'll take him to school, drives in, throws it up wildly. No Johnson with the rebound. His putback up, and he's fouled. Couldn't get the and one, but Jamari Martin hacks him, and it'll be 2 free throws for Colton Johnson at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line.
Great job by Johnson. Nobody boxes him out, so he gets the rebound. Nice shot fake. You get the defender in the air, and now going to try to convert the free throws.
Pressure on Upperman to go on a run with Nick Steen off this floor as the first one for Johnson is good. It's an 8-point game again.
That's the biggest thing for Fulton. You feel pretty good right now, up by 8 points, and your best player is on the bench right now with 2 personal fouls. If you can get it to halftime, you feel real comfortable if you're able to keep a lead and him only 2 fouls.
Next one for Johnson is good, 2 for 2. 23-16, 5:04 to go in the first half. A ton of basketball still to go in the Murphy Center. As Upperman will back out of the pressure. Here comes Burris into the front court. Now they'll trap. He'll send it over to Wood again. He'll rise up. He's just shooting, and finally he hits. They'll call that a 3 as Chaz Wood gets it to go. It's 26-16. Fulton's tied their largest advantage.
He shoots it a lot, and I guess you need somebody out there with Steen off the floor.
Again, Cobb just barrels inside. He'll rise up, puts it in, count it in, 1. Ty Cobb with the finish. Fulton is trying to take charges, but the official looks right at him and says, you weren't there. Chaz Wood called for the personal. Count it for Mr. Basketball.
And I actually thought he got fouled before that as well. So he got fouled a couple of times on the way to the basket. So I think they do actually change it. Well,
no, it's an and one.
No, I just didn't know if they changed who the foul was on.
I don't know what the argument is, but Upperman's got to stop talking to the officials. They just got to play. Cobb at the line, flies, and hits again. He is single-handedly keeping this team in the game. He has 13 of the 19 points.
I wonder if they were saying that wasn't a 3. Is that what they were saying?
I think they are on the other side, but they called it a 3. It's 26-19. It wasn't a 3, but he said it was. Here's Burris. He'll bounce it back over left side. Now that pass tipped and intercepted. Maynard gets one back on the steal. Now Johnson on the outlet feed to Cobb. Big possession here for Upperman. Cobb off the dribble. 4-3. Good. Ty Cobb. A 4-point game in the Murphy Center.
That's a big shot right there to cut it to 4. Just steps into the deep ball from the college range, and he's able to knock it down.
He's going to that place. Now an errant pass again. Diving on the hardwood for it. Bodies everywhere. And now we've got a kerfuffle on the hardwood. It's a tie-up, and the arrow belongs to Fulton.
Yeah, Carmine Phillips, he is not afraid to dive into those piles right there. He dives on top of the basketball. I have no clue what the official was saying to him.
He got a little rowdy between, and Collier Bush from behind was just hugging the Fulton Falcon on the ground.
He dove on the basketball, and then he jumped up right away. There was nothing wrong with it. Just because you dive with the basketball hard doesn't mean you need to be talked to by the official.
I think a little bit of fire, though, is good for the Bees in this
100%.
game. They got to get a spark going, and Ty Cobb is going to that place. He has 16 points with still 4 to play in the second quarter. 6-0 run for Upperman. Now again, out of the trap, they'll kick it to the corner. Baseline drive, and Carmine dives for the steal, but he's on the sideline. Carmine Phillips laying it on the line here in this second quarter.
Yeah, he's bringing the energy right now, and the Upperman fans are loving it. He's been big here defensively, but you got to finish off the possession and get a stop.
And again, no Nick Steen on the floor with 2 fouls. Upperman trying to capitalize. They trail by as many as 10 for the second time in the half. Inbound goes into the backcourt for Justin Burris, who will bring it up. What will Jody Wright do? Is he leaving Steen out the rest of the half? I would imagine he will, but we'll see if this changes as Wood fires a pass. That one's tipped. It's loose again, and a foul as Bush Again, went after the loose ball, and that time went right into the hip. Collier Bush called for his first personal. It's the team's second.
Yeah, a tough one there. Got knocked away, and he just kind of dives just a second late going after the basketball and picks up the personal foul. And he mentioned Steen being on the floor. If it gets to a one-possession game or they give up the lead, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes his way back in.
Torrance and Crouch back in for Bush and Carmine Phillips, who just needs a breather, I would imagine. Inbound, thrown up. That one was nearly tipped by Cobb. Instead, a mid-range pull-up. No rebound. Johnson snatches it out of the air. Now Ty Cobb says, let's go this way. He'll walk it up. 3.5 to go in the second. He's met by Womble. Trap arrives. He'll dump it ahead to Johnson. Johnson, skip feet over. That one's tipped and intercepted, nearly stolen back, and it's the third on Jack Torrance as he went for the reach and made contact, so he'll immediately be off the floor. Carmine Phillips back in, and again, really just a lackadaisical pass. It's the 10th turnover by the Bees.
Yeah, that foul wasn't on Jack Torrance. That's on Colton Johnson, who tried to whip it across the lane, and it was not a smart pass at all. It was immediately going to get picked off, and then Torrance trying to get it back for the Bees after the turnover, just commits the foul reaching in.
They have not committed turnovers like this in 2 seasons. It has been and that was no pressure on the turnover.
No, yeah. It's been unforced errors.
Burris on the drive to the elbow. Phillips right there again in his hip pocket. Burris spins. Now he'll give it back out. Here's Womble. Womble on the cross. Now he'll try to dump it back. That one was tipped by guess who? Carmine Phillips. Again, spinning inside is Burris. He gets to the spot, throws it up and in. That is a tough take for Justin Burris. It's a 6-point game again for Fulton.
Yeah, it really is, because Upperman has really turned up the defensive pressure. He's able to knife through the defense and split those 2 defenders inside for the finish.
Cobb across the timeline here. He fires it into Maynard, and he's held. It'll be a foul on the floor. And I believe that's going to be 2 free throws. Upperman into the bonus. So Joseph Maynard to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. That is a smart play for Upperman as he was just kind of leaking as everybody had stretched out to the top of the key.
Yeah, everybody was free throw line or above towards the half-court line, and he was able to cut towards the basket. Good pass over the top as well. The defense just grabs him on the way to prevent the basket.
Maynard's first free throw is good, and Upperman has weathered the storm. They are back in this game. We expected it to be a good one. Both games really in this class. Tullahoma Alcoa coming up next. 28-23 here. Next one coming for Maynard. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel and X-Mark dealer, and Maynard goes 2 for 2.
Well, there you go. Back to a 4-point game. Can you get another stop and try to get it a little bit closer before the end of the half?
Here's Chaz Wood. He'll send it over right side for Dixon. Dixon into the corner, now in the low block. Wood is fouled hard. Carmine Phillips into the body, and that you got to let him have that. Wood is just chucking up some bad shots, and he gets bailed out with a trip to the line for 2, and it is the first on Carmine Phillips.
Yeah, it works out that time. He said he missed it, but he gets fouled, and so he'll have a couple of shots at the line. He's trying to take over a little bit with Steen off the floor.
Wood sets up. He'll fly and gets a friendly roll here in the shooter's rims in the Murphy Center. Phillips checks out, Bush back in.
We just saw Cooper Williams have a game and a half for Smith County, unfortunately, in a loss to Westview in the 2A semifinals. He finishes with 21 points. He was 9 for 10 from the floor at 1 point in the game.
2 for 2 for Wood, back to a 6-point game. It's kind of just bounced between 4 and 10. Upperman has not been able to tie or take the lead.
Yeah,
2.5 to go.
Had those quick couple of buckets to start the game, but ever since then, haven't been able to get anything going.
Cobb sends it over to Lofton. Crouch now. He'll give back Collier Bush. Bush dumps it into Maynard. A back cut to Cobb to the spot underneath. Puts it in. 18 for Ty Cobb, who says, let's go.
That's a heck of a finish. Gets underneath the basket, up and under, and finishes with the right from the right side.
4-point game again. Can the Bees get a stop? Weaving through traffic is Womble. Bounce it back to Wood. Wood drives into the mid-range. Now he'll dump it back out to Cox. Cox skips it out to Womble. Again, no Nick Steen on the floor with 2 fouls. Coach Wright's left him off the floor, and so far it's worked. Now a pass out. This one grabbed by Womble. Fired it. Intercepted. Maynard on the steal. Now ahead to Cobb. Cobb in transition. Finger roll. Good. Ty Cobb has 20, and Upperman's within 2.
Goes into the sideline as well and just runs over some media members, but it's a 2-point game, and Cobb is feeling himself.
The Baxter faithful rise to their feet in the glass house. Wood from a mile away. No. Cobb on the rebound. Clear the runway. 90 to go in the second quarter. It's 30-28. Cobb calls out the play as he calmly brings it ahead. He'll dump it over to Maynard. Maynard, eyes up, back to Cobb, thinking about it. He'll size up his man, and he's fouled. This is 2 more free throws. Rajon Womble doesn't have a chance on planet Earth of staying in front of Ty Cobb. It's his first. Cobb back to the line to try and tie the game.
Yeah, it was literally just sized him up and takes one step to his left, and Womble just hits him with the chest and picks up the personal foul and a chance for Cobb to put him in.
And Jody Wright's mad, but guess what, Jody? Nobody on your team can cover number 0, especially with Nick Steen off the floor. He hits another free throw. He's got 21 points with 1:14 to go in the second.
Yeah, and a man-to-man defense, and you're on an island. Good luck.
On the SK Creation scoreboard, Kentucky and Santa Clara going to overtime, tied at 73. We mentioned Smith County fell to Westview in the Class 2A tournament 47-37. 2 for 2, and for the first time since it was about 5-4, we're tied. Carmine Phillips in, Ty Cobb gets a breather here on this defensive possession.
Much earned breather there as well to get it all the way tied after being down by as many as 10 here in the first half.
Still a lot of basketball to be played. This one is anybody's game. Wood has it left side. He'll send it over to Cox with a minute to go here in the second quarter. Womble here, fires it right side. Dixon on the drive, turned away by Crouch. Now he'll bounce it back out to Womble. How will they approach this possession? They didn't hold at the end of the first. Womble has it, sends it right side. Now to the baseline, they're not holding here. Long jumper nowhere, close. Johnson on the rebound. The Bees have a chance to take the lead, but no Cobb on the floor with 38 to go.
Again, just doesn't feel like a smart shot there by Fulton. They don't look like the same basketball team that they were in that first quarter.
Crouch has it, sends right side to Maynard. They were all in it. They were jumping off the bench, running on the floor, and since then, silence. Here's Johnson. Picks up. They're going to bleed it down here. You want to go in worst case tied after that half. Here's Maynard on the drive. He'll hop it over to Crouch. Back out Phillips. Now he'll skip it to Johnson. Colton surveys with 10 seconds to go. Johnson fires it to a cutting Maynard. He goes up strong and a block. Joseph Maynard to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. Kyrus Cox was not at the spot. They want the calls, but it's not a charge. Maynard can give the Bees the lead.
Yeah, great job by Joseph Maynard. The backdoor cut to the basket. Good feed by Johnson, and a great finish here to the first half for the Bees. A chance to take the lead with 5 seconds to go in the half.
And the official is mopping up the floor. Good servant leadership there as he's setting a good example for the kids.
I don't know what Jonathan and Ian are doing down there on the baseline.
They were never going to get up, that's for sure. So Joseph Maynard, the sophomore, sets up at the stripe to try and give the Bees their first lead since the 5:58 mark of the first quarter. What a comeback already, as the first one is good. Upperman is 14 of 14 at the free throw line here in the first half.
That'll get the job done.
And they have been fouls. Coach Steve can complain about it. They have been fouls.
This has been a good crew.
Next one for Maynard is up, and it is good. 32-30, plenty of time for Fulton to get a look. They're not going to bring Nick Steen onto the floor, which I thought they may for an offensive possession. Colton Johnson will check off for defense, and they will send Albert Harris, who can shoot it, to the table. He checks in for Cox. And they are going to now send Nick Steen. He is way too late.
Yeah, they're not going to let him in.
He's a mile late. And Bobby McWilliams was saying the same thing. 5.1. Inbound goes to Wood. Wood with a head of steam. Goes coast to coast. Wood gets a good look. It doesn't go. Upperman trailed by 10 on 2 separate occasions. But into the halftime locker room, the reigning champs lead by 2. On the other side, we'll have the Happy Hiller halftime show. Coverage of this game in the Class 3A state tournament is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway and get your vehicle serviced by their highly trained professionals. Right now, you can save money on oil changes, regular maintenance, and battery installation. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network. Mayberry's Furniture has been family-owned and operated since 1946 and is now serving the Upper Cumberland with locations in both Crossville and Cookeville, offering the largest array of solid wood furniture and mattresses in the area. They also provide a best price guarantee and in-house service and delivery. Stop into their 15,000 square foot showroom at 1020 South Willow Avenue in Cookeville to see their selection of Amish solid wood, flex steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and much more today. Mayberry's Furniture is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the high school football game of the week on the UCR Media Network. Are you looking for the best dining experience in the Upper Cumberland? Visit Fire and Vine in Cookeville's historic West Side. Fire and Vine offers great service and a unique menu, including mouth-watering deep dish pizza, delectable beef, chicken, fish, and more. Take in stunning views from the rooftop while enjoying your meal. Come and experience the charm and flavor of Fire and Vine, your new favorite spot for a memorable dining experience. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Up is the Upper Cumberland's best indoor golfing experience. With 3 state-of-the-art golf simulators, you can work on some of the world's best courses, all in the comfort of their climate-controlled facility. Want to know where you can improve? See everything from club speed to spin rate in seconds. They also have plenty of other games to enjoy time with friends. Conveniently located at 141 4th Street in Baxter. Stop in. Visit them online at tupgolfclub.com or call them at 931-559-GOLF to reserve your simulator today. T-Up is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
At the Quality Family, we believe care isn't just a service, it's a promise.
Whether you're bouncing back from surgery, navigating a serious illness, or need essential equipment to stay independent,
we provide skilled home health, compassionate hospice, and reliable DME services right where you need them most. At home.
Covering communities in Kentucky and Tennessee, we're in your corner.
The Quality Family. Trusted care, right where life happens.
Box Drop Cookeville is the easiest way to buy an affordable mattress, specializing in clearance and closeouts directly from the manufacturers. They're able to pass huge savings on to you. Make an appointment to see their warehouse full of selections including big-name hybrid and memory foam alongside traditional springs that are among some of the coolest to touch mattresses on the market. Call Brandon Lane at 931-349-7066 to make your appointment today. Box Drop Cookeville has been proud to serve Cookeville since 2018. Turfmasters Landscape Management has been serving the Upper Cumberland since 1996. They offer a variety of services, including lawn maintenance, landscape design and installation, landscape lighting, irrigation systems, and more. They also provide snow and ice removal during the cold winter months. For more information, contact Matt Wilson at 931-261-1587 today. Turfmasters Landscape Management is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this brand new construction on the Caney Fork River in Sparta. This home sits on 1.6 acres with 190 feet of river frontage and boasts 2,300 square feet of living space with a spacious 2-car garage. Enjoy the river views from your beautiful expanded covered porch. For more information, visit chadandamycrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They are also proud to sponsor Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing's Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Be sure to stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
For the Happy Hiller halftime show, visit happyhiller.com to see how our friends at Hiller can help solve your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical problems today. That's happyhiller.com. Upperman trailed by as many as 10 on 2 separate occasions. They now lead by 2 at the break, 32-30. Noah McKay, joined by Jacob Benson. The lovely Madison McKay on scoreboard duty. Ty Cobb, we said he had to put on the cape. He put on the cape. 22 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 2 from long range, 9 of 9 at the free throw line. 6 points for Colton Johnson with 3 rebounds. Joseph Maynard with 4. On the other side, 7 points for Chaz Wood, 6 for Rajon Womble, 6 for Jamari Martin, 4 for Nick Steen, who played just 8 minutes due to foul trouble. Justin Burris had 4, and Will Dixon had 3. 15 of 15 at the line for Upperman. They out-rebounded Fulton, finally got after it on the boards, 12-9. And despite 10 turnovers for the Bees to just 4 for Fulton, Upperman leads 32-30 at the break.
Well, and you mentioned for Nick Steen, he only played 8 minutes, but it was a very productive 8 minutes. 4 points, 5 rebounds. 4 of those were offensive. and he's got 3 assists and 2 steals. So he made the most of the 8 minutes that he played there in the first half. And then the Bees, we talked about it. When he went off the floor, they were going to have to take advantage, and absolutely they did that. Now have a 2-point lead here at halftime without him on the floor. It has been a struggle for this Fulton team. He was +9 in the 8 minutes that he played. Almost everybody else is negative for that Fulton squad. So Upperman able to turn the corner there in that second quarter, and it's all been Ty Cobb. They turned up the pressure defensively. Carmine Phillips, a big couple of minutes to kind of get the energy up for the Bees defensively, and Cobb has just completely taken over this basketball game. 22 points there in that first half, able to get to the line. Perfect 9 for 9 from the stripe as well.
Cobb had that strong take where he got to the line when they were down 10, and him and Colton Johnson kind of shared some words. They were firing each other up, and you could sense the energy level rising. You mentioned Carmine Phillips. He's probably going to play a lot in this second half. He was huge at the top of the zone on defense in that half.
He played great, and you don't need other guys out there offensively because you're giving it to Ty no matter what on the offensive side. Obviously, you want to be available if your name's called, but you're out there to play defense, get rebounds, and give the ball to Zero. And that's all you got to do out there, and that's what Upperman has done a great job of all season long. Obviously, you've got Colton Johnson inside for kind of that post presence, but you don't need another scorer out there on the floor. You need a defender to slow down that Fulton attack. Obviously, it's going to change when Steen comes back out on the floor, so they're going to have to adjust to that, but they feel pretty good right now.
And for Ty, we've talked about him going into distributor mode, and he could score 40 a night if he wanted to. Yeah, it's the state semifinals.
Yeah.
He's going to have to score 40 tonight.
It's that type of ball game, and especially after the slow start that they had. He just wasn't able to get it going. Fulton got off to a great start defensively, and Upperman was just committing too many turnovers, and they were careless turnovers in that basketball game as well. So they were able to clean those up a little bit through the end of that first half, and now got to keep taking good care of the basketball coming out in the second half, and just keep giving it to Zero.
Keep giving it to Zero. Upperman in a fight. 2 quarters away from a return trip to the state championship game for the second time in school history and for the second straight year. We'll have third quarter action on the other side. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential, multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland area since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Looking for weekend lunch and dinner plans? Since 1971, Nick's Restaurant has been locally owned and operated. From mouth-watering prime rib to delectable ice cream pie, Nick's has it all. Their cozy atmosphere and great service will make you feel right at home. Plus, their banquet space is perfect for any event. Visit them at 895 South Jefferson Avenue or online at nickscookville.com. Nick's Restaurant is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear an EJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Amanette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
Two quarters to decide who's going to play in the Class 3A state championship game. Upperman leads 32-30. It's tied for their largest lead of the game. Fulton led by as many as 10 twice in the first half. Nick Steen back out there. That's a big deal for the Falcons. It'll be Upperman basketball working left to right as you envision the action along with us here in Media Row. Noah McKay, Jacob Vincent, Madison McKay, happy to be with you. Comprehensive coverage from the Murphy Center. We'll talk more about that in our next break. Right side, here's Jack Torrance with the basketball. Torrance Works over Steen. Now he'll dump it into Cobb. Cobb spins left. Now rises up. Can't hit off the heel. Rebound tipped. And Steen already making an impact. He has the board.
Yeah, and for Fulton, you feel pretty good. He got Steen to halftime with just 2 fouls. Now he's back out there on the floor in a 2-point game.
He fires it across to Martin, who's picked up by Maynard. Upperman stays in their zone. They are moving it around, however, and now they'll shift it left side. This one grabbed by Womble. Womble fires in. Now Wood blocked. Cobb with the swat. Wood gets it back, and Maynard fouled him going up for it. First team foul as Joseph Maynard picks up his first personal.
That was a great defensive play by Cobb there. Blocks the jump shot, and then Maynard kind of going after the basketball. Wood gets there first and commits the foul. Not a bad foul, just unable to get to the basketball.
That's a hustle play. You can live with that. As the inbound, they try to go into the other corner. They go near side instead to Womble. Womble gives back to Steen. Steen to Wood. Wood took 8 shots in that first half. He averages just 6 points a game. Keep shooting, young man. Now a skip feed into the backcourt. Turnover. That's deja vu to what Upperman did early on in this game. Possession back to the Bees.
Yeah, he's trying to throw it back up top. He's standing on the baseline, but he threw it into media row. That's not exactly where you're looking to throw it.
You know, the USA Today group just got a souvenir to take home. Here's Cobb. Waiting for him is Rajon Womble. Good luck. Cobb sizes him up. He'll work it over left side. Now spins it. Baseline cut to Joseph Maynard, who missed the layup. He went for the dunk and missed it. Steen on the rebound. Here they come. Now again to Martin. Martin spins it back to Womble. Womble into the mid-range. He gives back to Steen. Steen closed out on back to Womble. He'll line up the 3 and hits. Just cannot have that sequence. 3 on the other end, it's 33-32.
Yeah, and it was a perfect play for Maynard, but he misses it. You mentioned trying to go up for the dunk, kind of lost it on the way up, mistimed his jump, misses the shot, and then a 3 on the other end. That's a huge answer by the Falcons.
90 seconds into the third. Cobb sizes up Steen. This is the matchup the people paid to see. $20 a pop. Let's go at it. Cobb floats back. He's trapped. Now able to skip it over to Johnson. Johnson with a feed across to Bush. Bush dumps it into Johnson. Huge mismatch. Goes up against Wood, and he's fouled. Chaz Wood. The only thing Colton wants is the and one. I mean, he hit him right on the arm.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
a foot smaller and 100 pounds lighter than Colton Johnson, and that is not an exaggeration. Colton to the line to shoot two.
No, it's yeah.
That is a
Spot
grown
on.
man versus a
Child.
average-sized young man, as the first one is good for Colton Johnson. I'm being generous. Johnson has turned it around at the free throw line. After being
Yeah, he
sub
sure
50% the first couple of months of the season, he has been huge in the postseason and here in the state tournament so far. His next one is up. That's a lane violation. They didn't call it, and Upperman 16 of 16 at the line. They're back in front by 1.
I made it anyways.
Here's Steen with it. Steen into the front court. Against the zone, he'll send it back to Burris. Burris holds at the MT logo. Pass fake. Goes to the top of the circle. Now bounces it in for Womble. Womble guarded by Maynard. Now Bush switches. Over to Steen. Steen fires it right wing side. Now they'll bounce it back to Harris. Upperman won a championship with this zone. Harris off the dribble 3. No Steen rises up for the rebound. He'll turn, rises up in the mid-range. He can't hit. 3 different Bs go up for that rebound, and Cobb snatches it.
Yeah, Maynard, Cobb, and Johnson all up there, and Cobb rips it away from both of them. That's a strong rebound right there.
They're trapping Ty into the front court as he picks up. He straddles the half-court line, able to underhand flip to Bush. Now a great feed to Torrance. Over to Johnson, who missed another layup. The second missed open layup for the Bees. And now here comes Fulton again trying to capitalize. They'll bounce it over. Baseline jumper, no. Johnson with the rebound, wrestles it away, and he's fouled. It should be on Nick Steen. He had his hand right into the cookie jar. They also had Martin in the area, but this should be on Steen. It is not. They gave it on Martin, and that is the second team foul on Fulton.
Well, and Upperman's fortunate Fulton's missing shots here on the other end because they've missed 2 straight layups now.
Holy
Easy
smokes.
layups on the other end where they've been able to try to extend their lead and just haven't been able to. So we'll see if they can get it going here on offense.
I mean, you got to make those. Those are bunnies. Here's Cobb. He takes Womble to school. Drives, contorts, finger roll, no, and he gets hacked. Martin, as Cobb went for the tip in, it should be 2 free throws. They're not going to give him free throws. They'll say on the floor. That was definitely
it's
a shooting foul.
shot. I don't know how you call that on the floor.
That's wild.
What in the world?
5:02 to go in the third.
In midair.
I mean,
he's
he
literally not on the floor.
falling back for the tip, and they called it on the floor.
That doesn't even make sense.
Martin called for his third personal. Yeah, that's a terrible call. 5:02 to
I
go in
really
the
don't
third.
know how that's possible.
This is your fault. You said they were good. Torrance
did.
inbounds, just threw it away. And a foul on Colton Johnson into the back. Complete lackadaisical pass lobbed in. and possession back to Fulton on the foul.
Well, and they had two guys going up top for kind of that deep pass over the top. And, just not a smart pass there again. And so it commits the foul, and Fulton will get the basketball back.
Joseph Maynard back to the table. Jack Torrance has got to just take a breath. He is a very good basketball player. He's just a little sped up. Carmine Phillips to the table as well. Here's Burris. Burris sends it over right side. Harris into the teeth of the zone. Womble, one dribble. He'll rise up. Another miss. Rebound fought for. It's wrestled away for a moment. Comes out to Torrance. He'll pick up. Calmly gives it to Cobb. Cobb behind the back. He's tripped up. The ball is loose. Diving on the hardwood for it. Bodies everywhere. That'll be a jump, and the arrow belongs to Fulton.
Yeah, Cobb kind of goes behind the back, tries to get forward, and it got his leg hit. Falls to the floor, trying to tap it to a teammate. Nice job there by Carmine Phillips to get a hand on the basketball. Or I guess I don't know who it was because Carmine just came on. I think it was Crouch, actually, that was diving on the floor. Got a hand on the basketball and able to tie it up to get the jump ball, but it will be Fulton ball.
34-33. The offenses were going crazy in the first half. Now
neither team can hit a shot.
Been a lot of missed open lays for Upperman and a couple of missed jumpers for Fulton. Here's Burris. Carmine Phillips right there. He's just a menace. Burris goes up right towards him. Picks up his dribble. Carmine says, hello, my name is Carmine. That's a 5-second violation. No, they granted a timeout to Jody Wright first. Timeout given to the Falcons. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Gives me an opportunity to tell you about our friends at Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel and Exmark dealer. We so appreciate them. Paul and the whole team at Gentry's Power Equipment have been so good to us over the years. Stop in and see them. It's getting warmer again all of a sudden. Maybe you need a new battery in your machine. They have those there. You need it serviced. They'll take care of your steel or Exmark machine right there in-house with a great service department. Go in, stop in, tell them thank you for sponsoring the broadcast. We also want to shout out our friends at E&D Concrete. For all regular or stamped concrete, no job is too big or too small. Call E&D Concrete at 615-203-1758. 34-33, it's Fulton basketball at the timeout.
And it's the first day of spring today. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. Both those businesses can get you on the right path with the warmer weather here.
Sideline inbound for Nick Steen. This game very much up in the balance right now. The perennial powerhouse Fulton. The new kid on the block powerhouse Upperman going to war today in the Murphy Center. Now a skip feed over into the corner. Three ball on the way. Harris rose way up, and he rained it. That's a big-time shot for Albert Harris, and it's 36-34.
Yeah, huge shot there out of the timeout. Able to knock it down. A good feed as well on the right wing.
First real big-time shot leveled in this second half. Collier Bush has it. He'll twist inside. Steps through. It's poked from behind. He gathers. Bush now spins. Puts it up with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Johnson has the rebound knocked away from him. And then it was tipped out by Burris. He knocked it off of Colton Johnson on his way out of bounds, and Fulton gets it back. And again, this is eerily similar to the first quarter where Fulton's winning the races to all these loose balls.
I'm going to say something as well. Zero needs to touch the ball every single possession.
Yeah, it's been way too much without Ty Cobb touching the basketball. 3 straight possessions without a touch for Ty Cobb. That will not work. Right side here, Steen. He'll rise up in the mid-range. Can't hit. Maynard with a good rebound. Here they come. Cobb says, give me the ball. Bush ahead. He will fire it to him. Womble with it. First touch in over 2 minutes of game time for Ty Cobb. Cobb fires it right side to Bush. Now he'll work it to Johnson. Johnson left side Phillips. Face guarding is Womble on Cobb. They'll get back to Maynard. Maynard to Cobb. Cobb spins with space. Steps through. Contorting lay. Good! And one! Mr. Basketball in his bag. Give him the rock.
That was insane. He stops in the middle of the lane, lets the defense kind of fall towards him, and then just steps through and puts so much English on it, flips it up near the rim, and it rolls in as he draws the foul. That was an awesome play by Ty Cobb.
That is the 4th team foul on Fulton. Ty Cobb finally gets on the board here in the third quarter, up to 24. He could make it 25, and he does. They remain perfect at the line. Just a display of foul shooting, 37-36. Now Fulton trying to break the 2-2-1 pressure. They'll bail back into the 2-3 as Steen has it in the front court. He steps through. Nick Steen rises up and finishes. The other Mr. Basketball finalist in this game with the 2, and we trade buckets 38-37.
And he needed to get one to go down. He missed his last few shots. Finally gets one on the runner.
Now Cobb behind the back move again. He's sizing up Womble. What does he want to do? He says clear out. Goes to work. Womble flops in a half. Cobb to the spot. Rises up. Blocked by Steen. Here they come. Steen poked from behind by Phillips. Now in a foot race. Carmine can't get there, and he leaps over the table. It'll stay with Fulton.
Turns on the speed that time.
And now they're going to have a discussion. Was this last touch? I believe it was last touch by Phillips.
I think it was too.
So it'll stay with Fulton. Upperman's trying to sell it. It'll be Falcons basketball with 2:28 to go in the third. And again, Cobb has the basketball there, but good defense by Nick Steen. When he's on the floor, they're a completely different basketball team.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's able to meet him there in the middle of the lane. He hadn't had that primary defensive assignment, but he's been able to come over on the help side and gets a big stop that time to create the turnover.
They trailed late in the third quarter against South Gibson. Tied it up with a buzzer beater at the end of the quarter. Came back and won the game. Trying to do the same here. 3 on the way. Good and one. Albert Harris with a huge bucket. Off the wing, rises up. Carmine Phillips hit him in midair. He finishes, and he'll go to the line looking for 4.
Yeah, just caught a piece of his leg on the way through. He kind of kicks that leg out and catches him, so he gets into the landing area, draws the foul. A big 3 made, and going to try to make a 4-point play.
That is a huge finish.
Yeah.
You got to tip your cap on a finish like that.
It really is.
2:20 to go. It's 41-37. I mean, wow. And now Harris, who's now hit 2 threes in the quarter, at the line trying to stretch it back to a 5-point game. Those are plays that get you to a state championship game. Upperman's going to need some, but the free throw's no good. Cobb goes up, saves the rebound in. A break for Upperman. 4-point game. Cobb splitting through everybody. Coast to coast. Cobb, no. Missed a contorting lay. Rebound down. Here comes Fulton with numbers if they hurry. Harris pushing the tempo. Bush awaits his arrival, and that is a carry. Went right under it. Possession back the other way to Upperman.
That's just a tough turnover there for Fulton as well. Yeah, numbers with Cobb behind the play, and he tries to go with a little hesitation on the drive to the basket. You either got to go to the basket or kick it off to one of your teammates.
Haven't seen a carry called in the tournament, but that one was
100%, yeah.
It was so much of a carry, it could have been a travel.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Will Dixon trying to guard Ty Cobb. No chance.
Good luck.
Cobb crosses, goes to work. He's being held. Cobb muscles through, and they'll call a foul. This is 2 free throws. Will, you got to stop arguing that, buddy. You were grabbing him, holding him, tugging him. Upperman into the bonus. Ty Cobb back to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line for 2.
It was pretty good defense initially until Cobb kind of puts the shoulder down, starts to drive in a little bit, and then, yeah, he starts to tug on him a little there. It'll be 2 shots here, like you said, as they're in the bonus now, and it's crunch time now. It feels like Upperman's played a good game, but they're down by 4 with 1:50 to play here in the third.
Ty Cobb at the line. Got a friendly roll. First one that nearly missed. Hit the front and then spun through. This is going to be, you're about to hear the line. You're going to need your popcorn for this fourth quarter. This is a heavyweight fight in the Murphy Center. Next one for Cobb. First miss of the day for Upperman at the line. 1:50 to go in the third. It's 41-38. Here comes Nick Steen. Torrance stretches to him. Now he'll give back over to Justin Burris. Burris sends right side Harris. Harris to Steen. Steen fires into the mid-range. 1 dribble runner thrown up and banked in. Will Dixon, not sure if he was trying to bank it, but he did. A 5-point Falcons lead again.
Now that's a great take there and able to extend the lead now up by 5. It's been their biggest lead here in this second half.
Cobb blows right past his man, dumps it into a cutting Torrance. Torrance going to bring it back out for Bush. 1:17 to play in the third quarter. Upperman trails by 5. Steen tries to snap it away from Maynard, who maintains possession. Now he'll give the tie. Cobb off a screen. Here comes the trap. He'll float back, fires it into Johnson, skips it back to Torrance. Come on, Jack, 4-3, good! JT from downtown. It's 43-41.
That is a huge make right there by Jack Torrance. Has not had his best basketball game today, but he steps up when they needed it most and cut it to a 2-point game.
It's a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Here's Justin Burris. It's 43-41, 45 to go in the third. What do you have in you? Jack Torrance, tough game so far. That's the biggest shot for Upperman to this point. Back to Steen, and now for the first time, Fulton looks like it's content to run this thing down.
Well, they really did not execute well at the end of the first 2 quarters, so they're trying to change that here. Not give an easy basket the other way for the Bees.
Burris has it here. He'll look up towards the clock. Jody Wright puts a hand up in the air and says, wait. Both these teams have been here. They've been in this round. They've been in this game. They've won this game. Somebody's going to have to make a play. Here they go with 12 on the clock. Burris gives to Steen. Steen on the drive. He shoulders Torrance. No call play on. Shot won't go. Rebound down. Second chance and a foul on the floor. It should be at least. Going, no. Same guy who didn't give the tip to
it would have
Cobb.
been bonus anyways.
Fair point. It's going to be 2 free throws coming up here for Joe Hairston. He is a 49% free throw shooter. And we'll see who they got that foul on for Upperman. There's a couple players in the area. If it is on Cobb, it is just his second. First one for Hairston. He got the friendly roll, 44-41. 3.5 for Upperman, enough time for a couple of dribbles and a three.
I'm not sure who they got it on because everybody but Torrance has one.
We'll see. The stats have been slow with the Wi-Fi in here. Next one for Hairston's good, a 4-point game. Cobb will let it bounce a couple of times, picks up. Cobb into the front court with 2 seconds. Cobb loses handle, it's a turnover, and that brings us to the end of 3. Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. Upperman needs a comeback, trailing by 4, 45-41. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Real Estate Collective is a team of experienced, licensed real estate agents serving the entire Upper Cumberland region. Whether you are looking to buy or sell, the RICO team is ready to serve you. With a focus on people over profits, you can rest assured the Real Estate Collective can help make your real estate dreams a reality. Call 931-559-9500 for more information or see their current listings at letsgorico.com. The Real Estate Collective is proud to support student athletes in our area and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Configuring the Bluetooth, deciding who controls the music, remembering where you parked. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future, it's what we do.
The defending champions have to show what they're made of. They trail Fulton 45-41, 8 minutes to go and potentially the season. Noah McKay, Jacob Vincent, Madison McKay on scoreboard. Happy to be along with you today as Ty Cobb has it here. Upperman basketball to open up the 4th quarter, trailing by 4. Collier Bush works it over back for Cobb. Cobb activates on the drive, spins inside. Cobb throws the runner up, around, no. Rebound fought for, it's a tie-up as Maynard had his hands on it with Hairston. The arrow belongs to Fulton. And Cobb thinks that he got fouled. The official says no.
And they've called it pretty consistently all game long, where they're fouls that have been hard fouls have been called, and they've let him play for a little bit inside as well. And Fulton has done a good job for the most part, staying straight up.
Burris, pass fake, throws the runner up, no. Maynard skies up for the rebound, and now Maynard with trouble from behind gives it to Johnson, ahead to Bush. Quick possession, now Torrance out of the corner. Just hit a big 3, back to Bush. Over to Torrance. Johnson trying to post up, battling inside with Hairston. Now Cobb steps through, loses handle. It's knocked out of play, and it'll stay with the Bees. Fulton tried to sell it, but it was clearly the last touch by them.
And they're doing a good job right now on Cobb. He's trying to get inside that defense in the middle of the paint, and there's 2 defenders just flying at him each time he touches the basketball, so he's always in a double team and just making it difficult for him right now.
Cobb guarded by Dixon, who has his hand out. Cobb holds it for a moment. Now Cobb again, shoulders off contact. Corner 3 for Bush. Good! CB from downtown. It's a 1-point game.
And another big shot. Collier Bush knocks it down in the corner. They needed it. They got it. 1-point game, 7 to play.
Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate 3 for the Bees. They may lose. They won't blink. Here's Steen left side. He'll get back out to Burris. This is why you play the schedule. They play non-district. They went and got tested by everybody across the country. Here's Burris. Burris sends it right side to Dixon. Dixon to the baseline. Hairston finds the cutter. Runner up, no. Maynard has the rebound tipped from him. He's able to run it down, saves it. Knocked out of play. It'll go to the Bees. Joseph Maynard has risen his play on the rebounding game heavily in the second half.
Yeah, they've needed it. That was a big play there. Gets the rebound. He's falling out of bounds. He has enough time to turn around and throw it off of a Fulton defender and out. Smart play there, and you get the basketball back.
And they are bracketing Ty Cobb away from the basketball here. Torrance going to bring it up. 6:23 to go. Jody Wright has had a master class in this game, but will it be enough for Fulton to get back to the mountaintop? Right side, here's Maynard. Back to Johnson. Hairston thought about going for it. Johnson, one dribble. He'll hand off to Cobb. Cobb sizes up Dixon. Now a skip feed on a rope to Bush. Lines up the three again. That one's no good. Johnson in position. Rebound tip from him. He runs it down. Can he save it? He does. Behind his back. Torrance is right there. He clears out and a charge. Oh my gosh. They called Jack Torrance for a charge, and Upperman is livid about it. That's a bad call.
That was really bad because Torrance, he's just trying to kind of step through, and the guy was flopping underneath him even before the contact was created. And the official very much got baited into that call there. One of the Fulton players, he's a little bit banged up. Harris is making his way off the floor. I think he kind of fell awkwardly. So he comes off, but that one was a very, very poor call.
That is the fourth on Jack Torrance as well. Carmine Phillips checks in for him. The Upperman faithful are livid, as I'm sure you can hear. That was a very, very bad call on a big spot. It's absolutely not a charge. No legal guarding position at all.
Well, it was a flop is what it was.
100%.
Fully a flop.
He got out of position and then recovered with a flop, and they bailed him out for a bad play. As Burris will bring it up here. Bush awaits his arrival. Gut check time. 5:44 to go. It's a one-point game. Still plenty of time. Wood has it left side. Back to Burris. Burris to Wood. Now Burris. Bounces in. Nearly stolen. They get to the spot. Bounces it across. Little head fake. Shot up and good. Nice play by Joe Hairston. And it's back to a three-point Falcons lead.
Hairston has made a couple of really good plays here in the second half. At the end of the third quarter, he gets to the free throw line that time. And a nice shot fake and finishes.
Cobb with Womble awaiting his arrival. Cobb has to go nuclear for Upperman to advance on in this tournament. 5-second clock is ticking on Ty. He'll go to work. Kicks over to Maynard. Maynard into the mid-range. Rises up from his spot. Can't hit. Off front iron. Rebound down Hairston. Here comes Fulton trying to stretch again with 5 to play. Steen kicks over to Wood. Lines up the corner. 3. No. Rebound. Johnson has it. It's tipped. And Bush grabbed it, but he was standing on the line. So possession stays with Fulton.
And on the other end for Upperman, they're getting good looks. Just haven't been able to knock him down for the most part here in the second half. Kind of struggling to shoot it from the floor in the second frame.
Yeah, they shot a really good clip in half number 1. They were 8 of 14 from the floor. Now they're at 42%, so that's gone down pretty significantly as they'll swing it over for Wood. Big possession for Fulton as they try to apply some pressure here. Upperman, 3 of 12 from the field in this half. That's not good enough. 5-second clock ticking. They get it to Wood. With space, he'll rise up. Can't hit. Rebound Maynard again. Here comes Upperman. Cobb looking to push the tempo, and he's fouled. And that's unfortunate for the Bees that they called that. It'll be Rajon Womble picks up the personal. Team's first in the sarcastic jeer from the Baxter faithful in attendance.
Yeah, and it's just kind of reaching in there as Cobb makes his way past. You mentioned it. They were on the run, and they had numbers at the other end as well. Fulton a little bit tired on that possession. So a smart foul there by the Falcons to slow it down and get your defense set.
It is this simple. Ty Cobb has to win this basketball game for Upperman.
Yep.
It is that simple. 2-time Mr. Basketball, MVP of this tournament a year ago, Gatorade Player of the Year. Contact and all, you got to go. Agent Zero will bring it up.
And Fulton's done a great job on him defensively here in the second half. He's only got 5 points in the second half.
Maynard picks up, spins again. Now finds Cobb. Cobb sizes up Womble on a timeout called by Bobby McWilliams. A quick cash pawn timeout. Still has 3 in his back pocket. Gives us an opportunity to tell you Thompson Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, your one-stop shop for your dirt machinery and aerial equipment needs, located at their new facility at 4314 Academy Road in Cookeville. They're a Caterpillar dealer who rent, sell, service, and provide parts. For rental needs, call Lane at 931-267-6380. And to buy, call Lucas, 931-979-5050. Coverage of tonight's game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment. Jacob, 4:18 to go. Plenty of time. One-score game. Bees need a bucket.
They do, and they absolutely need to get it going into Zero's hands, but they're getting good looks here in the second half. They just haven't been able to knock them down, whereas Fulton has been able to hit just a few more shots so far here in the second half, and that's really the difference in the game right now. That's why they have the lead. It's been a back-and-forth game so far here in the late stages of this fourth quarter. This is crunch time right now, and this is where you expect Ty Cobb to take over. He took over there in the first half, was able to get a lead for the Bees at halftime. Fulton, though, has responded very well. Steen is still out there on the floor. They've been able to hit just enough more shots in this second half so far, and we'll see what the Bees have coming out of the timeouts.
And it will be Jack Torrance back on the floor. Probably a little defense offense here. He has 4 fouls. Upperman basketball as they work on the right side of the Murphy Center from us here on Media Row. Cobb has it here for Upperman. Womble will guard him. He'll send it right side to Torrance. What is the ATO drawn up by Bobby McWilliams? Into Cobb. Cobb drives inside, steps through, lays it up and in. Another flop for Womble. Ty Cobb with the bucket, and Upperman's back within one.
Well, in that position, honestly, not a bad call because he was out of position, and Cobb was going to get 2 points nonetheless, and he's able to lay it up and in.
Burris brings it up here for the Falcons. Works off a Steen screen. Now he'll work it back right side. Harris hit 2 huge threes in the third quarter. Now they'll give back to Womble. Womble to Burris.
Had that 4-point play as well.
Burris sends it over right side. Harris, thankfully he missed the free throw, but it was a huge momentum play. Now a steal. Maynard in front of the pass, and it's grabbed by Bush. Ahead to Cobb, down 1. Cobb turns on Harris. He lost it right out of bounds. Possession back to Fulton. A very rare mistake for Ty Cobb with 3.5 to go.
Yeah, he tried to spin around, and it was just touched barely, and then Cobb kind of touches it on the way through, gets knocked out. That's a really nice play there by Harris.
47-46. Upperman just got the stop. They couldn't convert. Feels like they can get the lead. They could go on a little run, but they have not been able to get that here in the fourth quarter.
It's going to come down to free throws at some point. Either team in foul trouble here in the quarter at least. Both teams with just one team foul.
Burris ahead here as Upperman awaits his arrival with Collier Bush. Burris brings it back out. They're bleeding the clock a little bit more here. Burris drives inside, weaves through traffic, dumps it out. Now a kick out. Now they'll work it over to Harris. He'll give back to Womble. Womble into the corner. Burris fires into Steen. Steen drives on Johnson, who bodies him up. He rises and hits. Tough look for Nick Steen. He hasn't had a huge game scoring-wise, but that's a big 2.
Yeah, that's a smart play as well. Draw some of that clock down. He's the only guy that should be shooting the basketball at this stage in the ball game.
3 minutes to go. Upperman trails by 3. Their bid for a repeat very much in danger.
And now you got Steen guarding Cobb as well.
Maynard has it here for the Bees. He'll give over to Bush. Bush dumps it to Cobb. Sizes up Steen. He could just shoot it if he wants to. They're calling that closely guarded. He'll go to work on the baseline. Drives around Steen. Rises up. And he got called for a charge. A smile on Ty's face. Possession back the other way. It is the third team foul on Upperman. And Ty Cobb called for his second personal.
Yeah, really smart play there by Harris. He had the help side defense, and he was just kind of camped there on the baseline. Takes the charge and able to get the basketball back after the turnover.
2:34 to go. Fulton trying to pull an upset as Bush wraps up. And now you got to sell out for turnovers too. Stretch this game and Bush will wrap up. Commits the personal. Just the third team foul on the Bees as Burris had a step on him.
I'm surprised you don't see Ryan Case coming in here and just running around the floor trying to be aggressive and give some of these fouls away. And Coach McWilliams is sitting right in front of him.
Baseline inbound with 2.5 to go. Upperman trails by 3. Trying to pull out some late game heroics. Burris against Bush, brings it up, clears him off. Bush stays in front. Now he'll space back, time bleeding down. Gonna have to trap at some point. They'll work it over right side. Here's Harris. Harris bounces in Steen, wide open in the mid-range, no rebound, loose. A second chance for Fulton. Womble with the board. Now a tip, this Maynard has another steal. Ahead to Cobb, in transition, Ty lost it, runs it down in the corner, gathers. Thought about it, gives to Bush. He'll line up the 3. Way too short. Johnson rebounds, second chance Upperman. Back out to Bush. 1-score game. Johnson had it tipped from behind. It's a loose ball. Wrestling for it, and Colton's going to be called for a personal.
Just not a smart pass in there from Collier Bush. You pull it back out, get the offense reset. You don't have to force that inside to the post. You put Colton Johnson in a bad spot. He commits the foul. Just not a smart play there to give the basketball back to Fulton.
Second team foul, or second personal rather, on Bush, who subs out for Torrance. 1:49 to go. Upperman got a couple of big plays, and they've done nothing with it so far.
Yeah, they got the turnovers they needed to get the basketball back, but haven't been able to take care of the basketball on the other end. And again, just uncharacteristic, especially here late in the fourth quarter.
Sideline inbound. Phillips almost got the steal. Now turning is Burris. Who do you want to foul is the question. Burris gives back to Steen. The answer is not him. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Terrible shot selection, but Steen got another rebound. Just everybody watching it for Upperman. Harris drives inside, stutter stepped, he traveled. Possession back to Upperman, who again has an opportunity with 95 seconds to go. They have had their chances. They've got to capitalize or they're going home.
Fulton is just giving them the basketball. They have absolutely no reason to be shooting the basketball or even looking for a shot. And again, if it's anybody, it needs to be Steen inside. They've been taking jump shots. They haven't been able to knock them down. So the Bees have another chance. This is their third chance. You have to cash in with 90 seconds to play.
Cobb guarded by Steen into the front court. Picks up, needs an outlet, fires it to Maynard. Maynard back to Cobb. 1:20 to go. Upperman trails by 3. Cobb calls for a screen. Now he'll just dump it over right side Maynard. Into the mid-range, Maynard picks up. Back to Torrance, and a timeout called by Bobby McWilliams with 1:11 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, he had 3 to use. The smart one there with the 1:11 to play, and it will be a full timeout at a 49-46 ball game.
Upperman has scored 5 points in the quarter. Fulton has scored 4. And it is a 3-point game. The defenses have been really good in the fourth quarter, but Upperman, listen, if they win this game, they're going to make some humongous plays. Everyone will forget. They will have nobody to blame
100%
for this loss if they don't win this game. They had opportunity after opportunity.
Well, Fulton is trying to let them back into this game.
They've
had a 3-point lead for the last few possessions with the ball in their hands, and for some reason they just continue to shoot the basketball instead of just draw this clock down and try to get fouled. Upperman is at 14 fouls. The next one would send them to the line. Instead, they're trying to take jump shots in the middle of the lane. They're just not smart shots, and Upperman's got to take advantage here. Down by 3 with 1:11 to go and the basketball in their hands.
Ty Cobb has to line up a 3.
100%.
He has got to take a 3.
It don't even have to be a 3. He can take it inside because
the problem is they're taking charges and they're calling charges here. They weren't in the first half. Now they're calling charges. To me, it's got to be a 3 for Ty Cobb. And quite frankly, a 42% three-point shooter. The best shot they have is a contested 3 for number 0 right now with how this game has gone. 5 on the floor for Upperman. Bush, Torrance, Maynard, Johnson, and Cobb. 1:11 to go and potentially the season. Upperman trails by 3. Sideline inbound here in the front court for Collier Bush. Steen is now guarding Ty Cobb. Bush to inbound. Goes into the backcourt for Maynard. Womble awaits his arrival now over to Cobb. 1:06 to play. Cobb sizes up Steen. He'll work right side behind the back move. Cobb barrels and another turnover. Dribbling it off his knee. Possession back to Fulton, under a minute to go. They're down 3.
That was great defense by the Falcons as well. They've only got 1 team foul, so they could be really aggressive defensively.
And Bush getting in there, trying to force a turnover. He said he got pushed, but Justin Burris will go to the line for 2 with 50 seconds to go. Upperman has 5 turnovers in the last 6 minutes.
That's not going to get the job done.
4 in the last 3 minutes.
It's kind of how the ball game started as well. Just turnovers been the key in this one.
Justin Burris to the line. He's a 73% free throw shooter. Biggest ones of his high school career coming up here. First one is up, and it is good. And it is a critical 2-score lead now for Fulton, who hadn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 8 seconds before that free throw.
That's a big free throw right there. Kind of calms the nerves now, makes the second one feel a little bit easier.
Next one, up, good. 2 for 2, 50 seconds to go. Cobb going to bring it up. Time running out on Upperman. Steen awaits his arrival. That's a smart switch for Jody Wright. Left side, Torrance. Torrance back to Cobb. Going to line it up from a mile away. Are you kidding me? This guy's insane. Ty Cobb with a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Don't write the obituary yet. That was from a mile away. Timeout, Bobby McWilliams. 37 seconds to go. It is a 2-point game.
That is indeed from way downtown for Ty Cobb, and they needed a 3 from Ty. He's able to knock it down there, got it to a 2-point game, and now he got it to a 2-point game. If you can get a foul and miss a free throw, it's still a 1-possession game and going back your way. So a huge shot there by Cobb, and they just try to get the basketball back first. If you don't, make sure you get a quick foul and hope for a miss on the other end.
That is a big-time 3 by Mr. Basketball.
Say that again.
He now has 31 points in this game. He's 2 of 3 from long range. And now it is sellout to force a turnover time for Upperman. And then you got to hope for a missed free throw. Who do you want to foul is the question. The best free throw shooters are out for Jody Wright. The answer is Albert Harris, number 2. He's a 56% free throw shooter. He touches it, you foul him. Baseline inbound here for Fulton. They can run the baseline. Try to get Steen free. They face guard him. Inbound, running out of time. And they will grant the timeout. A wise play for Rajon Womble.
Yeah, they had 4 left to use, so, I mean, you still could use another one here if you're not able to get it in.
And from here on, outside of a wide-open layup for Upperman, it is Ty Cobb shooting the basketball.
Even if it's a wide-open layup, I'm not taking it out of his hands. I don't care.
If he dishes it across to Colton Johnson on the other side, that's fine.
Yeah, if he's driving and he's got 2 defenders coming to him, you've got Colton Johnson wide open on the block, that's the only time.
The time for fun is over. It is Ty Cobb taking the shots out of this quick cash pawn timeout on the floor. It will be a baseline inbound for Fulton with still 37.9 to go in the ball game.
It'd be interesting here, too. I think they cannot move the baseline now that they had
because
to burn
they called
the timeout.
I believe you're right, and that's
So
what
they're
Alan
gonna
Asbury just asked the official.
So they're going to have to stay planted, which you can put somebody now on the baseline and really crowd it. I wouldn't be surprised you put Joseph Maynard on there, just make it super difficult to get this pass in, or you just sag off of the inbounds and try to double team whoever they're trying to get the ball into.
Still 3 timeouts remaining for Fulton, so they have some leeway here, but Upperman was very close to forcing a 5-second violation before that last timeout was called.
And again, for Fulton, they still have 3 timeouts remaining, so you absolutely could burn one here if you're not able to get it in.
Just 1 left for Bobby McWilliams. That could be big down the stretch, obviously with the clock running off of makes in Tennessee high school basketball.
They're going to put Ty on the ball here on the inbounds.
And it'll be Womble to inbound, and Maynard is going to shadow Steen. Womble on the spot. And a hold. Bush grabbed hold of Justin Burris, who just made 2. He'll go back to try and stretch it to a 2-score game.
Yeah, that's tough right there, because especially with him not being able to move on the baseline, you want to try to at least force him into a 5-second call, and instead you get the hold, and it's going to put him back at the line. Like you said, just made 2, and he's already got that confidence now.
The name of the game right now for Upperman is stretch this game. Make it longer, so no time off the clock. You didn't get tagged with an intentional, so not the worst thing in the world outside of a turnover. Burris to the line for 2. He was cool, calm, and collected his last time here. He is a senior guard, 6 feet tall, and he's 3 for 3. Back to a 3-point game. This one's critical.
Yeah, really could use a miss here for the Beast. Got to rebound it, though, if you do.
And even if he doesn't miss, a 3 in the next 15 or so seconds, and you're okay because it'd be a 1-point game.
Just got to go quick.
Next one coming for Burris. Takes his time. Eyes. Flies. That's clutch. Nothing but net. Maynard will roll it ahead for Cobb, who lets it go. Steen awaits his arrival. He'll pick up near half court. Cobb off the dribble, behind the back move, steps through. Cobb blocked but a foul. 2 free throws for Ty Cobb at the Sonia Brown of the American Way Real Estate free throw line, and Ty just rolled the ball at the official, and he almost got teed up. Stop arguing with the officials, Ty Cobb.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really
just report
even
the foul.
Trying to
just report the foul.
Do anything with it. Just kind of how the basketball ended up out of his hands.
Cobb at the line for 2. Got to have them both. 32 seconds to go. A strong take. You would have loved the and one, but now he goes to the line.
Well, and Steen was guarding him. He got his money's worth there. He got the basketball, but he got a lot of the body as well. So Cobb's able to hit the first to make it a 1-possession game. This one big because, again, if you get a miss on the other end, it stays at a 1-possession lead.
32 seconds. Upperman extending this game. As Carmine Phillips will check in for Jack Torrance. A turnover is really what Upperman could use. Cobb, next one. This one's critical as well. Gives you a little bit of margin on the other side. He has 32 points tonight. He hits the second, 2 for 2. And a timeout going to be called. No, a sub. And that just slows it down. This is a great sub. Lofton crouch in for Collier Bush, and it lets your defense get set up. And Nick Steen going to become the inbounder here. He can run the baseline. And he can see over everybody the way Womble can't. Inbound coming here. He'll fire it in. This one grabbed by Womble, who's trapped immediately, and a foul. Still 29.8. Upperman's not trying to foul, but Joseph Maynard called for the personal. And now Rajon Womble, who's a 63% free throw shooter, goes to the stripe. Fulton has not missed yet. They keep doing that. They're going to have a great chance to win.
Well, that's the tough part here. When you're trying to trap, you really got to show your hands, because if your hands are down at all, the officials are just going to call it no matter what, because they're just going to assume that you're trying to foul. And Maynard was not showing his hands, had 2 hands on the ball handler and Womble, so he'll step to the stripe in a 2-point game.
Rajon Womble to the line for the first time tonight. Fulton, again, teams that have been here, great at the line. He makes the first. It's back to a 3-point game with 29 seconds to go.
Yeah, Fulton's been clutch.
And they're going to back out the defense.
Outside of those 3 possessions where for some reason they kept shooting the basketball, they've been clutch here in these last few.
Next one coming for Womble. He sets, flies, and he missed it. 3-point game, 29 seconds to go. Here comes Ty Cobb. Cobb guarded by Steen, crosses him over. Cobb floats back, starts to drive, kicks to Torrance. 20 seconds. Timeout, Bobby McWilliams, a great timeout. 19.8, they don't have any remaining, but they have to get this play right. 54-51, a huge miss. The door remains slightly open for the Upperman Bees.
That's why knocking down those 2 free throws before for Ty was big on the other end, because you get the miss on that side. So now it's a 3-point game, and you have a chance with 19.8 seconds to play. Again, give it to 0. either set a screen or clear out, let him make some action. And even if he draws a couple of defenders, then you could maybe kick to an open shooter on a wing.
Thank the sponsors who make it possible for us to be here, including our presenting sponsor, Gentry's Power Equipment, our live reads, Thompson Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, E&D Concrete. Hopefully we have a game tomorrow, but we'll talk about that post-game. If it is, it's going to be a miraculous comeback.
Yeah.
Upperman has the ball, 19.8, 54-51. Now you probably need it to be a 3.
Yeah, 100%. I think so. And 19.8 seconds to go. And, I mean, you could try to get a quick score with Ty going to the basket, but even then, if Fulton is smart, they're just going to let that ball roll and let the time keep on running until they pick it up and try to run at least 4 full seconds off the clock. So no timeouts remaining for Upperman. Feels like you need a 3 at this point.
And Fulton has all 3 timeouts in their back pocket as well. This is where having Ty Cobb comes through in a major way.
Fulton also only 2 team fouls. They can be super aggressive defensively here, up by 3.
Joseph Maynard inbound at the top of his bench. The sophomore gets it. 19.8 to play. Skip feed over to Cobb. Cobb behind the back, Steen right there, trying to get space. Cobb floating back. 14 seconds. Cobb goes to work, crosses, rises. Can't hit. Rebound, Johnson has it. He gets fouled, no call. Over to Torrance. Back to Cobb. Lines up the 3. No. Maynard rebound. Put back, no. And Fulton wins. Three looks for Upperman, 2 for long range, and the Fulton Falcons return to the Class 3A state championship game. Final score from the Murphy Center, Fulton 54, Upperman 51.
Wow. That's all I can think of at the end of there. I mean, they got some great looks. Tie off the dribble. Really good defense by Steen to stay in front. They get the offensive board. He gets another really good look on the left wing, and he's feeling it right now, and rightfully so. I mean, he put his heart out there in the second half. That is an unbelievable win for the Fulton Falcons, taking down the #1 team in the state. They've been #1 all season long, and you've got Tullahoma and Alcoa waiting in the wings for their next game, and they're also saying, wow, let's get to the championship game now and try to take on that Fulton team. But I mean, what a win for the Falcons. That was a heck of a basketball game. And the key thing in that game, just too many turnovers for the Bees. It's in the start of the ball game, and then they're late as well. Just too many turnovers and unable to get the job done. I mean, a heck of a finish there by the Falcons.
That was a phenomenal high school basketball game. This classification is really good.
Yeah.
And those are 2 really good teams.
These 4 in the semifinals are top-notch.
For Upperman, you could not, it was a contested look for Ty on the first 3. Great rebound for Johnson. The tip out to Cobb. There was a good closeout by Steen and another Falcon as they closed out. You can't ask for better looks than that. Maynard got the rebound. He had a chance at an and-1. I thought they didn't call it. That being said, and a lot I'm sure is always made about officials when teams win or lose, there were calls out there. Upperman had their opportunities
100%.
the entire game, particularly in that fourth quarter, and just did not capitalize. And Fulton earned this victory today. And you saw 2 teams experienced here not blink in the face of adversity, but Fulton just a hair stronger in the key areas of this basketball game tonight, and they earned the win.
18 total turnovers in the ball game for Upperman, I think, was the biggest difference in this one. Fulton was able to take care of the basketball, and it's just if you don't take care of the ball, you're not going to have chances in the end. Fulton only had 9 turnovers in the game. They hit their free throws as well. They go 9 for 11. Upperman was 21 of 22, and it just kind of came down to the end. Fulton hit a few more shots, and then they hit their free throws to close it out. And again, a couple of good looks for Upperman on that last play. They just don't go down.
This is the Thompson Machinery and Cat Rental Store post-game show. Jacob, we call a lot of basketball when the stats are as even as this one was, and if you look up and down the stat sheet, everything is even except for one area.
Yep.
When you have double the amount of turnovers of your opponent, you're not going to win in a game like this. And that's what happened. They turned it over too big early. They had to come back. If they would have had those runs in a tie game and they would have taken 10-point leads, they win this game, but they didn't because of the turnovers early. And then in the fourth quarter, there were maybe 3 or 4 possessions in a row where Fulton took really poor shots.
Yep.
And Upperman comes down the other way and gives it right back. You can't do that against a Falcons team like this.
100%. We said it, 3 possessions in a row where Fulton, for some reason, was shooting the basketball, leading by 3 points, and they just absolutely didn't need it. It was less than 2 minutes to play. And even then, too, Upperman was able to create a couple of turnovers, but then they would give the basketball right back to Fulton going the other way, and just unable to convert and take advantage of the opportunities there late in the fourth quarter. Very uncharacteristic for this Upperman team that was trying to get back to that championship game, trying to make it 2 in a row, but that was a very formidable opponent in Fulton as well. And again, these 4 teams with Alcoa and Tullahoma coming up next, 4 very, very good basketball teams.
And here is the ultimate kind of, oh man, when it is a gold ball or bust season, which it is, this one hurts
100%,
extra.
yeah.
It's a sensational basketball season for Upperman. There's only one Upper Cumberland team still left standing. We'll see if Jackson County can get it done tonight against Memphis Middle College. I mean, they checked off a lot of big boxes this season, but it was a gold ball or bust year, so it's going to hurt extra. But when they look back, this is as part of the continuation of a run. 3 straight semifinal appearances for this senior class. Talk about Collier Bush and Jack Torrance, who've been here the whole time. Carmine Phillips comes in this year on this team. We'll get to what's coming back, which is obviously a lot for this Upperman team. But it stings extra when it's gold ball or bust, but we know what a great season this has been for this Upperman team.
Well, they had won so many games in a row. Felt like they were playing their best basketball, and then obviously South Gibson gives them a test. And I mean, Fulton was very much up to the test today, and I think you could say they were the better team in this basketball game today as well. Obviously, Ty was kind of that equalizer on the other side for Upperman, but Fulton was the better basketball team for the majority of the ball game, and they get the job done. But yeah, I mean, this Upperman team on a run. You mentioned this 3 straight semifinal rounds, obviously the championship and the gold ball last year. And you saw the emotion from Ty Cobb afterwards, and a lot of the Bees afterwards just showing on the floor. I mean, he struggled just to get through the handshake line afterwards. Got a lot of pats on the back, obviously, from his teammates and from that Fulton squad as well. I mean, he left it all out there, and you got to credit the Fulton defense.
No doubt.
Ty had 21 points at halftime. I mean, he finishes with 33, but they were able to limit his production there in that second half, and then they're late as well. Steen gets switched off onto him, and he really defended him well there in those closing minutes of the ball game.
They got down and defended, and they had to, and that was a big-time performance by Fulton in this game. They earned the right to play for the Class
100%.
3A state championship. No asterisk besides that game for Fulton, but a sensational year for Upperman. They will come to a close with a 31-6 overall record. They dominated District 7 3A, Region 4 3A, cruised through their sub-state round appearance as well. Ultimately, played their best basketball probably 2 weeks too soon, because they were playing their best ball, and they did not play their best the past 2 games. Take nothing away from Fulton or South Gibson, who played well, but Upperman did not play up to their maximum capabilities these last 2 games.
And that, honestly, it could be contributed to, 11 days off,
exactly.
12 days off, something like that, before you play your quarterfinal matchup after the sectional game. And we heard from Coach Amadette yesterday with Pickett County. For them, it was good because they were so sick in those last few weeks of the postseason before the state tournament. For Upperman, they were playing their best basketball. When you're playing your best basketball, you want to keep playing. You don't want that long layoff in between, but that's not to make excuses. You just said it. I mean, Fulton absolutely earned that basketball game, but that could be a factor why with it. We didn't see the best version of Upperman, both in the quarterfinal round where they got the win, and then here in the semifinal round against Fulton.
Ty Cobb's going to come back with a vengeance. He had 33 points tonight, 6 rebounds. Colton Johnson, a junior, 8 points, 6 rebounds. Nobody else for Upperman had more than 4. Joseph Maynard had 4. Jack Torrance and Collier Bush each had 3. Rajon Womble led Knoxville Fulton with 10 points. Then a host of 8, 7, 8, 6, 6, 5, 4. The balance for Fulton really shined through in this basketball game. Upperman handled Nick Steen. He had just 8 points, 12 rebounds. You told me he had 8 points, 12 rebounds, and said Upperman's playing for a state championship. They are not, because of the defense Fulton was able to play in this game. Let's get to the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game.
Man, that's tough. There's a couple of them. I mean, Steen had a great game. Womble up there leading them in scoring. I kind of like Burris with it. He goes 4 for 4 from the free throw line there late to keep extending the lead for this Fulton team. You mentioned it, a senior kind of stepping up and hitting some big-time shots, and so he closes it out. I'm going to go with Burris going 4 for 4 from the line there late for this Fulton squad.
He is the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. Well, that does not do it for us here from Murfreesboro. Of course, we have Jackson County against Memphis Middle College coming up later on tonight with an 8:45 tip-off. Last chance to play for a gold ball in the Upper Cumberland. The Jackson County Blue Devils, we'll see if they can get it done. They enter tonight as a favorite, but as we've seen all day, you've got to come and play well for 32 minutes. Complete comprehensive coverage of this game, Smith County as well. Jackson County, presented by Risher Roofing, coming to our website. Hard to believe, Jacob. The marathon when it comes to broadcasts for basketball is done. That being said, Upperman baseball, Monday.
That's what I was just
Cumberland
gonna say.
County comes to town to take
Not
on
done
Upperman.
yet.
We will be in the Jeff Petey Goolsby press box on Monday
The
night.
nice and warm Jeff
Yes,
Petey Goolsby
indeed. Or
press
maybe
box.
cool if it
I was
continues
gonna-
to
yeah,
warm
that's
up.
true.
We may have the AC turned on.
That is true.
We are full-fledged. We will have every Upperman baseball game this season. We will also have a high school baseball game of the week presented by Mayberry's Furniture. We will have a high school softball game of the week presented by Mayberry's Furniture. We welcome Cameron Hughes to the team. He's going to help us out majorly during baseball and softball season. We are not done with basketball coverage, but we are done with basketball broadcast. Thank you to all the sponsors who made it possible. How about a shout-out to the team, especially this year. We had a couple of paternity leaves, especially when it comes to the broadcast with Jacob being out for 6 weeks. So everybody who called games, and now it's too long of a list for me to even rattle off. You know who you are, and we very much appreciate if you produced a stream, and certainly the advertisers and the viewers. This has been a record viewership year when it comes to the broadcast. Going to continue to do that.
Been such a great season for basketball, both girls and boys as well. 6 girls teams making it to the state tournament. We had 3 state championship games last week on Saturday, and now obviously the boys not having as much success, but still a chance for the Jackson County Blue Devils to get to the 1A state title game coming up tonight against Memphis Middle College. Been so much fun this basketball season, and we'll see if Jackson County is able to maybe bring a gold ball home to the UC.
We'll let you know what happens. Of course, all coverage from Murfreesboro, boots on the ground, coming to our website and our social media platforms. That'll do it for us today. Knoxville Fulton advances to the Class 3A state championship game. They knock off reigning champion Upperman 54-51. I'm Noah McKay for Jacob Vincent, Madison McKay, and the whole UCR crew here from Murfreesboro. We say so long from the Murphy Center.